Hi, I'm Carly Verhoeven, and I'm at the Grand Link Operations, Maintenance, and Storage Facility on Dutton Drive in Waterloo. We're going to be speaking with Grand Link Community Relations Manager Avril Fiskin. But first, let's take a look at some of the Ion Construction closures across the region. Davenport near Conestoga Mall at Northfield closed on July 27th and will still be closed for much of this week. Conestoga at Northfield closed on July 14th for 6 weeks. Two-way traffic on Northfield is maintained as the off-ramps from Highway 85 are still closed. Weber between Dutton and Albert closed July 11th and should remain closed until early August. The detour is Albert to Parkside. The Laurel Trail is closed along the west side of the Clay and Glass Gallery and at the Perimeter Institute. Access to the Laurel Trail south of Laurel Creek is available using the Heritage Trail north of the Perimeter Institute. The pedestrian crossing south of Laurel Creek to Father David Bauer is open on a temporary surface. On July 11th, Fremont at Caroline closed for approximately 4 months. Two-way traffic will be maintained on Caroline for the duration of this closure. Caroline and Herb is closed until late September. Detours are in place via King, University, and Westmount, as well as Bridgeport, Regina, William, and Caroline. Duke and Frederick will be closed until approximately early November. Duke and King will also be closed until approximately early October. King Street in Uptown Waterloo is still closed from Herb to Union. Traffic in front of Grand River Hospital is two-way. King Street is closed from Wellington to Victoria for construction at the grade separation. Two-way traffic in Cortland between Block Line and Manitou has resumed. The Ion track across Cortland is now complete. Base asphalt has been installed from Block Line to the Hydro Corridor on the east side of Cortland. Kitchener-Wilmot Hydro has resumed work on Cortland. Wilson from Fairway to Kingsway closed on July 24th for approximately 6 weeks to install the LRT tracks across Wilson. Access to Fairway Park Mall and Shoppers Drug Mart will remain open from Fairway to Wilson during this time. Access to Wilson will be maintained via Weber to Franklin to Wilson. I also spoke with people in Waterloo to see how they feel about Ion Construction.
I'm not really going to be affected by it because I don't use public transport, but overall, for society value, it's something that's definitely good for the city, for students and whatnot. And so personally, no, but overall utility of the town should go up. So.
Like, mind you, I guess it takes 5 minutes more out of my day. So, but then I guess have to adjust how quick I walk or how quickly I do certain things, like like getting ready, what time to take the bus, and also when I'm walking, just gotta quicken the pace a bit. But besides that, it's all in all, it's relatively unchanged. But yeah, just I guess more time in some parts than others.
City's trying to do something great for our community, and it takes a little patience and understanding, but we're all for it. It's all about community and supporting each other. I'd like to add about the LRT that it would be great if you're able to take bicycles on the LRT, so then you could hop on the LRT and get started on cycling at different points in the city. And as well, it'd be really nice if people were allowed to bring their dogs on the LRT, because people have dogs. A lot of people may not have cars, and they like to have their dogs with them.
I talked with Avril Fiskin, Grand Link Community Relations Manager, about the Ion Operations, Maintenance, and Storage Facility in Waterloo and the progress that has been made since breaking ground in 2014.
There's been a lot going on. So we would have kicked off the project back in 2014, and Grand Link's responsible at a high level for getting the system ready for Ion to run. So the trains to move along the 19 kilometers of track from Waterloo to Kitchener. And that kind of sounds like it's one simple activity, but it's not. There's lots of things that have to happen. First off, and you wouldn't normally think about this, but we really have to get under the ground and move the water mains, the storm mains, the sanitary sewers that would have been running underneath the track, and get them moved. We also, while we're doing that, are taking advantage of that movement and that exposure to upgrade the system so that it's able to support future development. So that's a lot of the work that we saw and did last year in 2015 was that wet utility work. So great big holes, lots of moving dirt, and the pipes being put back into place in a form that would actually support future growth. Now, in many of the areas, we've moved to installing the track. So we're putting the track systems in place that the vehicles will actually run on, and then we're also building the infrastructure that allows the trains to drive. So we're putting the poles in place, we're beginning to string, or we will soon be stringing the wire that'll bring energy to the trains, and we're also building the stops that people will be able to access the trains from. So it's actually 2016 is a really exciting year, because if you think about it from someone who's doing a home renovation in a house, last year in most of our areas would have been that piece where, you know, you're taking the walls down, you're putting new electrical systems in place, you're putting new plumbing in place, you're putting HVAC in. And for the typical homeowner, it's not stuff you're really going to see. It's the final touches that people really glom onto and really begin to get excited about. And that's what we're beginning to see now on the street. When you're driving by, you can actually see finished segments of the track. There's a lot that's been going on. And I think the good news is, as this year progresses, people will begin to see the congestion easing up. So although there's been lots of congestion, there's lots going on, I completely understand there's lots of frustration, but again, the good news is that things will be able to ease up through to the end of this year.
And as construction continues until the project comes to completion, what suggestion would you give to residents?
I think I've got a few. So I think the first one is to be aware. Drive or walk or ride your bike through the construction zones with an appropriate level of caution and speed. There's a lot of people in that construction zone. Our workers are working in close proximity to traffic. They're working in the heat, the rain, the cold. Be aware of the signs that are posted and follow them. And follow the flaggers that are there, because they're there to help you as well. Also, be aware of other people that are moving through the area. It's a construction zone. You want to be taking into account all of those things that are around you.
While it may seem like a lot of work is being done, the benefit to this amount of construction is that the actual significant construction will be finished by the end of this year, with some of it to continue on into 2017. To stay up to date on all of the Ion construction closures, you can actually visit rideion.ca. For Rogers TV, I'm Carly Verhoeven.